Googling my real name just out of curiosity and discovering I share it with a porn actress. Also typing random sentences. What innocent search turned out to be porn? Oh boy, my favorite viewer is back to watch another storytime with me. Welcome back, my bro. Make sure to not miss any more stories with your favorite narrator Andrew by liking the video and subscribing. If you do, I'll send you some edibles. Anyways, let's get into these stories. My black friend put on a blonde granny wig for a play, and to compare his pic I searches, black blonde granny. As a software engine I often Google latex terms. Sometimes I tend to forget that I need to specify that I'm looking for the text processing. I was looking for an edging tool at Home Depot a few years back to fix the edges of my lawn around the front sidewalk. Apparently it's a masturbation technique that comes up when safe search is turned off. My retired dad thought he would do some substitute teaching. Classroom management was a problem as he had no idea how to deal with unruly students. So, on the school computer, hit Google up for some ideas on teen discipline. I crap you not. I got 3 for you. 1. I typed in scat looking for the jazz singing, not knowing what the term also means. 2. I looked up Grandpa Piss trying to find screenshots from a Monster Factory video. 3. Not me, but my dad used to order golf balls online from Dick's at work before they opened one in OKC. He typed in dicksports.com and was greeted by a gay porn site. Oh crap, my time to shine. I'm a marine science educator and often put together flyers, posters, PowerPoints, etc. for work. When it's for kids, I like to add little cartoon fish or whatever it is the lesson is focusing on. Without fail, no matter what type of marine animal I'm searching for, I get furry stuff, and quite a lot of it is borderline porn. How the hell you gonna make furry shrimp porn? Why's that exist? I've gotten so I only do image searches using the scientific names of organisms. I've told this story before, but I went to high school in the late 90s, just as schools were starting to get the internet. This was early internet too, where any innocuous search would bring up porn. That happened to me in history class. We had the computer lab, I'm doing regular history searches, porn comes up on my screen. I was sent to the office. They did not believe it was an accident, even though I'd never been in trouble before. I was suspended from school for the rest of the day. Then it started happening to other students and teachers, and finally they realized it was a problem. They did eventually get filters on the computers, but I was never apologized to. I just happened to be the unlucky sap that it happened to first. My friend and I were searching for a night design for a school project. The thing was, we're in broad daylight, using the school Wi-Fi, near the grade school department, and had an audience behind us of classmates and some grade schoolers. So here we were, browsing through Google Images when suddenly, this picture of a trashy 3D princess being doggy-styled came into view 3 times. Wordlessly, my friend immediately skipped it just to spare the minds of our audience. I've told this story before, but I went to high school in the late 90s, just as schools were starting to get the internet. This was early internet too, where any innocuous search would bring up porn. That happened to me in history class. We had the computer lab, I'm doing regular history searches, porn comes up on my screen. I was sent to the office. They did not believe it was an accident, even though I'd never been in trouble before. I was suspended from school for the rest of the day. Then it started happening to other students and teachers, and finally they realized it was a problem. They did eventually get filters on the computers, but I was never apologized to. I just happened to be the unlucky sap that it happened to first. Edit. Thanks for the silver and gold, I appreciate it. A few years ago, I was trying to explain Reddit to my wife and was telling her all about the different subreddits out there. At the time she was interested in crafting and sewing, so I showed her a few different subs. Then she started asking me about a few different interests for me to show her the results. All of these were pretty innocent and wholesome stuff. She was getting impressed. Finally she asked me about period piece movies and TV shows like the ones she would constantly watch on BBC. So I tried a quick search for BBC and got BBC, but not the kind I was intending. Laughs were had. Now my wife has a Reddit account. Edit. This happened in the search function. When searching for new subreddits, I wasn't typing on RBBC. The suggested subreddits when you search for one, that is what I'm referring to. Actual dicks didn't flop out at us. It was suggested subs. I've shared this before, but I used to work at this really small advertising agency as a copywriter. We had this new client that was a Chinese restaurant that was opening up in the area, and we were doing their website, managing social media. I had a little bit of downtime, so the graphic designer asked me if I could help her find some good stock photo images for her. The name of the place involved chopsticks, and obviously being a Chinese restaurant, chopsticks were important. So, I start looking around for interesting pictures of chopsticks. I came across this picture, NSFW, of a woman pinching her nipple with a pair of chopsticks. Of course, that happened to be at the same time that my boss came to check up and see what I was doing. Eventually he understood what happened and thought it was hilarious, but at first he totally thought that I was just looking at porn at work. I did some work at an auto financing company. Part of my job included some minor detective work, verifying workplace information, skip tracing and the like. We had a lot of tools we could use to help us, but none like good old Google and Facebook. I remember finding out after a client hadn't made a payment in a couple of months that he was a producer. I decided that I should probably make a call to the company. No answer. After I dig a little deeper, I find the link to his company website and make the click. There I am, middle of the day, people all around, and my underwriter has left out the pertinent info that this guy produces very specifically black gay porn. Dicks shooting spunk all over other men's faces and big black horse cocks fills my screen. I immediately went and informed my supervisor and his boss, so they didn't think I was just randomly looking up a fetish. It definitely changed some policy, and I didn't hear the end of it from my workmates and boss for a good 4 months. When I was a dumb kid in the mid-90s, the computer clock was wrong on the classroom computer. The World Wide Web, as everyone seemed to call it at the time, was very new to me, but I knew you could find this stuff out, but what website would it be on? My dumb duck little British brain decided bigbin.com or .co.uk was a good idea. My first introduction to gay porn at around 8 years old. Edit. Seems a lot of people are asking if I'm gay now. Sorry to disappoint, but I am straight. Early introduction to massive cocks didn't turn me, as some have asked. I'm not sure that's how sexual preference works. I remember it like it was yesterday, at the very emotionally prepared age of 7. My brother and dad both played WoW and had level 60 characters, which I never really had the patience to level myself. Anyways, I wanted a cool character myself, so I decided to search for WoW on eBay, hoping to find accounts and associate in fantasies about where I was a fully geared badass. The things that popped up were porn DVDs, and a lot of them at that. Wow. That's what I call sex. I was not ready. The emotion I felt wasn't curiosity or disgust, but a subtle mix between both. I felt as though a primal instinct was creeping up on me. Crap was weird. I would revisit the cover of these DVDs pretty regularly. Now, this is where it gets weird and comically tragic. I had never seen a penis before, and neither a fully erect one at that. So the natural question is, why doesn't mine look like that? I don't know if most people remember this, but when you're a kid, the glands of your penis is stuck to your foreskin, and you can't pull it back because it's attached very hard. So when I noticed this, I thought I was a freak. One day I realized I could see the tip of the purple iceberg, and oh boy, there was so much ducking skin attached to it that I panicked. From that day on, during bath time I would pull my skin so hard till it ripped off, and only stopped when my tears were pouring down or if I was bleeding heavily. It was some 127 hours vibe crap. Sometimes I still have nightmares about it. Every bath time for months, my instincts told me that I needed to do this. It doesn't stop there. One day I came to the end. There was only one part left between me and being normal, and it was going to be the hardest one. Guess what part? Yup, the frenulum, banjo string, whatever you want to call it. You'd think evolution would have found a way for you to know what is normal and what is not, but I didn't have a clue. I saw my banjo string and thought, what the duck, well, I came this far. But it didn't come off, no matter how much I tried. I tugged my prepubescent microdong every chance I could get and was soon about to give up, The pain was unreal. However, I had already committed, I had to be normal. My mom would put sharp objects in the highest drawers. One day before bath time I climbed up on the desk and brought a pair of scissors to my room. I told my frenulum, "That's it, finally, I win, duck you." That day. There was a lot of blood, I panicked, but I didn't want to ask my parents for help. I wrapped my battle-scarred wiener in a crapton of toilet paper, went to sleep and spent the night in a fetal position. I thought I was going to die, and I would rather face that than telling my parents that I've been mutilating the defective dick that they gave me. After surviving this, I gave up. I've been calling my Johnson James Franco ever since I saw the movie. I don't boast about it, and I've never told any of this to anyone. It's almost like a personal little inside joke between me and James. This whole experience had been entirely repressed from my memories. I saw this post and it all came back. Vivid, bloody memories. Thanks for watching. What did you think of the story time? Let me know in the comments below. If you liked the video, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss any more story times.